All right. Well, I guess I'll pick up where I left off, which is mining, and hopefully that spider spawner that I stumbled across is still lit. Yes, it is. Good. So we'll focus on mining, I guess. I got a new thing. See if it does. All right. So now it should be easier to see when it's dark. That's more for people watching me. Like it says a cheat, but nothing down here. There's iron, but my main goal at the moment really to get to level y negative 55, because at that point I can start finding diamond, which would be very nice. So we'll resume that as soon as I get find the spot that I was standing in. which apparently is weird set because everything. Pretty sure. Right there. Oops. I fell. Yeah, we're making it to pretty close to the deep slate territory, so we're getting close to where we start with that instead of stone. Oh, that's the problem. I turned gamma up and was looking for a dark passage, but not really. Huh. Yeah. I was back. This mine isn't as good as well as it might go. Finally hit the deep slate. Which, but I recall, really does tear up the tick a lot faster. Like, I could be wrong that having mine too much of it just felt like hard fast. I'm gonna check. Nope, still not going. Nope. Yeah, we'll continue down. Just I guess 53 more levels to go. This is why I switched to a 1 wide thing instead of a 3. We'll maybe widen it when we get better tools and enchant. But I'm not gonna go for aesthetics right now. I'm going for a pragmatic approach of acquiring what we need and making it look nice later. I could get that gold right there. I don't remember if you have to have at least an iron pick to get that. I think you do. So I'm gonna leave that there for now. I do have an iron pick in my inventory, but I'm saving it basically just mining for diamonds in Twilight. Don't want to get all the way down there and have used up my iron pick and not have any iron left to make another one, and then I'm just staring at diamonds in the wall on the floor, unable to mine them. Taking steps. I'm gonna have to find another plug-in here. Just get rid of this altogether. My normal one, I couldn't get. The server was telling me it was incompatible. My normal one just gives you a sound that tells you, hey, that's about to happen. I don't like how this stays with my face. Way to figure that out. If not, I think I'm just gonna get high. Probably need more than two. Of course, with the gamma up like this, I'm not gonna really know when I need to place torches. I have to maybe count. Back. We'll find us. I'm just gonna put it. I guess that'll do for now. And we'll just continue as we go if I remember. But we're already down to about 20. So halfway from where we started. Well, there's a cave. Alright. Check that out. And there's lava. Okay. Brought my bucket, but I failed to fill it with water. So that's entirely. I guess we'll go get some water. I expected that we'd run into a cave, but I didn't really count on us running into it top side. So I was not prepared. Should have. Alright. Yes, let's go up. Clean out our inventory a little bit. Make more mining. Find our way back down. This cave being there actually kind of helps. We have less to mine. Let's. I get some stairs in here. That was also I can run up with popping. Just in time. Beautiful sun. Our glowberries have grown some more. That's good. The potatoes grown yet? They finally grew. Well, that's just great. I think I'll plant some more. This is, I think, the best early game food source. And I think beets are terrible except for trading with villagers. So you just have to trade with villagers. Oh, I meant to. Yeah, I'll take that. I want to have chests when I get down to level. Yeah. Some cool food. Of course. It's not there. I think while we're mining, it's close to here. Uh, Go. Alright, well, we'll head back down. And we will place some stairs on our way just to make the return trip easier. I didn't do this right. I can leave that. That worked. Maybe I should just do one side for now, since we're probably not going to have enough to get as far as we want to go. I don't want to do both sides and then get all the way down. I realize that I wish I had. Alright. I hope I. You know, let's just head that possibility off the path. And maybe give ourselves waterfall down now. There. That way, as we're backing up, we don't accidentally hit a drop of water. So like that. I'm gonna have to all those higher stairs, even if I'm up ahead of that visual impact of almost hitting your head over. Sort of like when I fall from a high place in Minecraft, I still get a weird G-force feeling in my stomach, even though I'm just sitting in a chair or on the couch or whatever. Still happens. You're upside down. That's what we call a dinner boat stair, I guess. Dinner boat being the dev who has the upside down skin. So name anything in Minecraft. Dinner boat must be upside down. I'm sure we'll do that eventually. I always do something upside down. Last time I did it, it was a cow in a replica of Krusty Burger where I sold steak and leather, paper, and book to my server. I might build another Krusty Burger. Just because it was fun. There. Okay. Alright, let's check out what's down here. I have to remember, even though it looks lit, it's not lit, and so there might be hostile mobs, like, kind of all over the place. The lava is going to help with reducing mobs. Alright, this is definitely a faster way to get down to Y negative 55. I'm gonna take off the plugin just a second, just to see. Yeah, that is hard for you guys to see. I just kind of want to get an idea of where the dark areas are before I proceed, because that's where the... Wait a minute. I'm in a mushroom biome. There aren't any There aren't any hostile mobs here. We're fine. Okay. I don't like that lava there. Maybe a little very, very minor terror just to make the lava less threatening. Nah. Oh, that's my shovel. You can't mine with a shovel. Not deep slate. Well, I guess, you know what? That might be fun to try out. Will deep slate drop when you mine it with a shovel, or will it be destroyed? Something I really don't care either way enough to find out, but maybe one day. So I've never. A long time before that happened. There. Now I feel a little less concerned about lava. So we have gold, redstone, emerald, lapis, that's lichen, redstone. I think you can get redstone with a stone pick. Man, that is slow mining. I bet it's gonna. Nope, you can't. You have to have iron for that. Okay. Store that thing. That's okay. We'll have plenty of redstone. I want to look there. I wonder if there's any open to the surface down here. Of course, I have no way of finding out. But what we can do is maybe get glow ink from the squid who's not doing so well. The glow squid. Sounded like we got. Alright, got glow ink, but that does it. If you have a sign or an item frame and you apply glow ink to it, the text of the frame will glow. It doesn't produce light, it's just sort of easier to see. It makes the stuff stand out better. So that's good to have. Glad we got that. Just thinking how I want to approach this, because it's gonna be slow swimming back up the water every time, and I don't want to do it. But I don't have any soul sand because I haven't been to the nether. So I can't use soul sand to propel myself through the water, as soul sand does. Maybe for now, that's what we do, but we know we're going to change that eventually. I want to go look in here too. See what we got. We're not far away from time. I am glad that we're on a mushroom island. This thing would be crawling with creepers, spiders, and zombies and skeletons. Okay. What about now? Yeah. I'm gonna Google it to make sure I'm right about 5. This says 53, but I was thinking lava was at 54. Oh, these are negative numbers. They go the other way. So yeah. This right here is the level we want to be on. Okay. Well, maybe we should just start. Oh, we can set down our little encampment here as well. Normally I dig out a little room, but got kind of a natural, almost cathedral here, so don't have to worry about that. But I know there are a lot of theories about the best way to mine. I employ branch mining, which I will explain momentarily for people who may not be as familiar with it. Kind of get set up here first. I don't need the bucket, and I don't have a water source to take one from anyway. That I kind of want to leave that because I can maybe easily farm this area for glow ink until I set up a regular farm for it. Glow squids only spawn in certain conditions. One of them is in water beneath a certain Y level. I can't remember what that Y level is, but we have a natural area for them right here to spawn. I was once digging a massive thing, and that glow ink that I just picked up while I was digging it out, I had a situation like this, and I ended up filling up an entire chest with glow ink just by walking by every once in a while. So that's what we'll have now. And by chest, I mean single chest, so only the top 3 rows, which is 27 times 64, basically. I don't remember what that number is. I used to do that. So you'll have to do the math if you care. So I guess I can explain branch mining now. What you do is you create a single corridor that's basically 2 by 1. We're in a 2 by 1 corridor right now. 1, 2, 1. 1 across, 2 up. You could say 1 by 2 or 2 by 1. It doesn't matter. Same thing. And what we're gonna do, now that we're far enough in, I think that will remain on mining, is we'll create some branches. Once again, they'll be 1 by 2 or 2 by 1. And then we'll go 2 more. Or rather, we'll go 3 more. We'll be skipping. So 1, 2, 3. Skipping 2. Mining on the 3rd one. This is a form, one of several forms of branch mining. That's the one that I typically go with. For a better explanation on branch mining, both Azuma Void and Cubfan have extensive videos on the process and the various ways you can do it and their take on the most effective and the most investment reward ratios. And not only do they have it broken down for branch mining, they have it broken down for other types of mining, such as mining for ancient debris in the nether, which we'll get into eventually, and I'll explain what to do. So, you basically do this, and some people, they'll just go a few blocks and hit, you know, as far as their pick can reach, like they'd stand here and just mine, but now the pick can't reach that far, so they go to the next one. They just go as far down until they get tired of it, or until they find what they want. What I tend to do is I'll just go until I can't go anymore, because I'm too far away from my sort of branch mine hub to make it convenient to run back every time my inventory gets full, because this will fill up your inventory very quick. And so it's just no longer practical to run that far, or if there's lava blocking the way, and it just, to me, it makes more sense to just move to a new branch than to deal with the lava. Not worth the time. And since we have a mushroom biome that's 1.5 kilometers long and about 1/3 of that wider in some point, we have a lot of mining that we can very safely do without fear of mobs, the hostile mobs. The only thing we really have to worry about is lava and falling. Maybe suffocating if we run into an underwater section that we decide to explore. But oh, we have found diamonds. Alright. Now here's the thing. I can mine them, but I have to use an iron pick. Might as well put my axe away. That's not gonna... No. Or I can wait and come back with an enchanted pick if I have Fortune 3 or Fortune 1 or 2, it'll give me extra diamonds. Well, it has a chance to. I think the yield is an average of 2.5 diamonds per block instead of the 1 I would get without Fortune. I think you can get up to 4, and sometimes you still just get 1. It's completely random. I think we're going to get enough diamonds eventually, especially when we go in busting, which is when you just go through the end dimension. Just by virtue of traveling through it, require a lot of diamond. I think there's no need to preserve these so that we get 2.5 per block instead of... So we got our first diamond. And just like I keep my first poisonous potato and my first pick, I keep my first diamond. I don't use it to craft or anything. So I'm gonna take it back now so we know which one it is, and we always know. When I get an anvil, I can actually name it, and then we can put it in an item frame and hang it up, and every time we look at it, well, now I do need that. We'll just punch it. Every time you look at it, we'll be able to see that that is the first time. Oh, wait. Talking about, a couple other times we played, just the unlikelihood of some of the things we've run into. How unlikely is it that we would mine down and line up perfectly with a spider spawner? This is a most unbelievable seed. Certainly improbable. You can check and see how the iron in our furnace is doing as well, because our iron pick is about gone. And check. Like just one of them. No, we won't. Oh. Oh. And I'll tell you, I'm so used to living off of potatoes in early game that I keep forgetting I'm on a mushroom island and I have basically infinite steak available. So I guess it doesn't matter as much. Let's just force the habit. Have 35. About to have almost 43 iron. I I think I have enough to make an anvil, which would allow me to name this diamond, but that would take almost all of the iron. So I'm not gonna. Not just yet, but we will. In fact, what we'll do, just to keep the tradition alive, because I have always done it. We'll make a special chest. Put it in a special place. Put it right there. And the only thing that goes in there is diamond. That way we don't accidentally mix it up with other diamonds. And we just know, there it is. We'll put it in a special place. It'll be great. And while we're here, we can put a lava bucket, in our water bucket as well. And might as well harvest some sugar cane. But our trees are growing too. I really like the color of the. Oh, is that the gamma? That's the gamma. Let's check. It's still a pretty color. I knew that the grass changed color in mushroom biomes, but I'd forgotten that the trees actually look a little better too. So that's cool. We'll turn the gamma back on for now. I don't know a better solution for people to be able to see. I'll see if I can find one sometime, because I do feel like it's kind of cheap. I don't, not a fan. I don't mind some quality of life improvements or quality of people watching or viewing improvements. I think there's probably a better solution. And I also think I'm tired of bumping my head on. Also, we're going to be in situations where we aren't protected by the biome we're in, and hostile mobs will spawn. And we're going to need those torches, and me not seeing that it's dark, I'll forget to put them up, like you've seen me forget to put them up right here, right now. I'm just doing this because, you see, it's not a thing that actually causes any problems in the game, really. Maybe one or two of them actually are, but just visually, it bugs me when you're like this close to the stairs, and some of them you actually are hitting. You know? And when I said stairs, I'm ceiling. You know, so while we're here, I'm just gonna take care of that now, so I don't have to deal with it ever again. At least here. Oh. Yeah. Getting down isn't a problem. Going back up is going to be a little slow. I'd like back down here, and we'll look for a couple more diamonds. Sometimes diamonds spawn in little groups, but like it might not be there, but it might be in the diagonal, so we'll just check. Or to check. Not seeing it. And yeah, sometimes you just go. So we'll just continue on for a little while. And we'll keep making these stone pickaxes. Yep. But eventually we'll get to the point where we have enchantments and weapons, tools, and armor that we can just use it whenever we want. We don't have to save the good ones for special occasions. Yeah, I think I would rather have no warning at all than a warning like that. Okay, so here's some lava. This lava, I said I usually stop when lava stops me. This isn't too bad. I don't mind throwing a couple blocks down. It's more when the lava is the same level as, say, my feet or my head. The lava is at that level. Well, you know, I'll point when there's not a big sign in front of me. When the lava's at that level or above, that is when I tend to say no thanks. Well, shoot. I set the crafting table down. Way over here. See, this is where you get to where you're running back, forth. Well, you don't really want to. I think I have a thing that allows me to use this to make pick the same as that. I guess we'll find out here in a second. Alright. I'm just gonna make several. And I guess we're not so far that I am that adverse to running back. We also keep the water bucket on us because if you see this here, try to make it easier to see. This is obsidian, and it's created when water flows over lava. And when lava flows over water, it creates stone. Obsidian is useful because you can stop TNT with it. TNT is one of the few blocks TNT will not break. So if you're trying to break a bunch of stuff, you can put it on an obsidian platform, and then you sort of have a platform for everything and to catch it without worrying about the platform itself blowing up. Obsidian is, of course, most famous for being the material you make nether portals out of, which is how you get to the nether. But you have to have diamond to mine obsidian, so we can't get any. Because I need 3 diamonds to make a pickaxe, and I technically don't have any, so the first one doesn't count. But we can get this redstone, so we'll keep that. And redstone is something that you can use to make redstone blocks or redstone dust, and the blocks act as power sources and the dust acts sort of as wires for power sources, and you can make pretty cool machines with the aid of redstone. And we will be making quite a number over the course of however long we play Minecraft. for the rest of my life. I want to test one other thing. See, I didn't really look that closely yesterday. Okay. Yeah, you can still kind of see. And I still have the visual indication. And I can still place them down. Yeah, we might do that. I think this is how we're gonna play it, because when you're down in a cave or a mine anyway, it really doesn't have to hurt to have torches in your offhand. But as I was saying, this bucket, it's helpful to have one when you're down here doing stuff, because if suddenly you're overcome with lava, you can throw a bucket of water down and maybe convert the lava into something else that won't kill you. And sometimes when you're mining for diamonds, you get very lucky. Other times, you don't. And today is probably too early to tell. Oh, there's another one. Ooh, several. Alright. And when you're this low, sometimes it's good to look under the diamond before you mine it. Make sure that there's not lava that it'll fall into. Because that's how you lose diamonds, my friends. Warning. Diamonds are lost in lava. That's what that thing should say. Unfortunately, I'd have to go into my control panel, remove it, and restart the server to get rid of that. So I'm just gonna do that between now and the next time I stream. So I apologize that that annoying thing is there. I don't like it either. I wish it was the one that was just the sound. The description did not indicate that it would be that obnoxious. In case you missed it, pardon me, I'm just taking a sip of water. Okay, let's resume. And you know, it might be another good idea if we take our diamonds back to a safe place now. And maybe make some torches too. Because we don't have very many left. And now that I have an easier time seeing about how often I need to put run out of a lot more often. I keep scrolling through because I'm so used to having to scroll over for torches rather than having my offhand. I usually I hear squids dying. I'll confess, I started as a Legacy console player and then Bedrock player, and offhand, other than your map, was just not a thing, so I never got in the habit of using torches in the offhand. For those who aren't sure what I'm talking about, your offhand is this right here. Whatever you put in there is in your offhand. In Bedrock, the only thing you can do there is hold a map, so a map will appear where the torches are. I mean, you can put other things there, but they aren't functional, whereas in Java, you have a bit of functionality with the offhand. And like I said, I just never got in the habit. Put you right there. Well, on the redstone as well. I think I might as well make a furnace. So I don't want to put it up against the thing because I want an indicator when it's done. Put it there. We'll just put all this stuff here in the middle, and then we'll remember to grab it on our way out, hopefully. And while we're up there, we might kill some more cows. And that is so far down now that maybe I don't want to go down there until eventually this will become so long that this will seem like the better idea. You know, it kind of goes back and forth how that works. And another thing I usually stick to when I go caving, as I do, a lot of people use the axiom right on return. They'll put a torch there, and it means when you walk past it on your right, you know you're headed back to where you came from. But I don't do it in branch mines because they're not complex enough for me to get lost. I did forget to make torches though. I'll do that. Torches are one of the things that you don't actually need a crafting table for, but I just somehow always end up making them there anyway because I just habit to click on the crafting table. Another thing I haven't mentioned about better gear is one of the enchantments you can get is called mending. So you don't even have to get new gear because it won't wear out. You can use some mechanics of the game to mend your gear. And that is probably one of the first enchanted book trades from a librarian that you go for. I switched to my stone pickaxe to get something more valuable. I just am so used to having one pick, I forgot to switch back to my other pick. I guess technically we have so much iron now, not a lot, but enough to... I could exclusively switch to iron pick. And maybe I will do that once I go through stone pickaxe. But once we get a little better off on the iron front, I mean the diamond front, we'll also probably make an iron farm. And I'll explain the mechanics of that as I do it. I'm probably going to do it at spawn, because the place in the world where you spawn is always active, even if you're not there. And that means I can just visit it whenever I want, and it will act as if it never turned off. I'll always have iron. Oh, and I didn't really explain one part of branch mining very well that I should have. And we'll come back to the entrance to show what I mean. The reason you go 1 and then skip 2 and go 1 is because when I go down this, I can see everything on this row. So it doesn't make sense to go this way because I've already observed this. So I can skip 2 and then I can see this one and this one. Then we'll skip 2 more. And I've already seen that this one's diamond or not diamond, so this is the next one I'm interested in. But if I go here, just like in the other passages, I can observe 2. It's an economy of motion, I guess, type of situation. Oh, more diamond. See, this is why you check under the diamond before you mine the diamond. Because if I had mined them first and that wasn't there, we could lose. Let's make sure. Ooh, that's it. Sometimes down here you can also just find diamonds sort of exposed on the floor, just like this iron here. So it doesn't hurt to check. In fact, we might want to go back to that larger cave where we began our mine and just see if there's any diamonds exposed out there as well. Especially at that lava, they do tend to generate kind of cool lava. So here's a block that's kind of interesting. This is gravel. Gravel is known as what is a gravity block is what it's called. And the reason it's called that is, see, I can do this with these blocks, and then I can remove this block, and this block doesn't fall. But if this block was gravel, and I remove the block under it, it would fall. The only time it doesn't is when it naturally generates in a hanging position. But from these particles, that gives you a hint that you're in a situation where if you mine any block touching this gravel, all of the gravel touching that block and all of the gravel touching the gravel that's touching that block will also fall. And that can be dangerous because it can suffocate you, or if you're on top of it, it could fall down and there could be a deep pool of lava, then now you're in lava. Or it can uncover something dangerous like a spider spawner that you're not prepared for, as we ran into yesterday. This far down, chances are very good that lava is somehow associated with that gravel. Gravel is a useful block. It's one of the ingredients for concrete, and I do use a lot of concrete. But there are better ways to get gravel than this right here, and we don't need any of it. And now my iron pick is gone. So, I'm gonna go make the service make another one. Before I do though, this might be a good place to demonstrate right on the turn, like I was talking about. The torch there, 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 and so on, all the way back here. Let's pretend for a moment that this cave twisted and turned and went on forever, and it branched off left here and right there, and each of these branches had further branches. And after, 15 or 20 minutes of exploring this, you found yourself all turned around. You don't know how to get back. Just like sort of at the start of the stream where I was by the spider spawner and I couldn't find the staircase. These torches are your path back. They're your breadcrumbs, as it were. Right on return. They're all on my right. That means I'm returning the correct way. And then when you arrive at your destination, maybe you do something like that to indicate a point of interest, or a point of entrance, as you may want to call it in that situation, if you like puns. Because these caves can be very winding and complex, especially with the way the terrain was updated with the caves and cliff updates. So yeah, we'll like I said, we'll go back to the surface now. Make some iron picks. We're still gonna go through our stone pick before we switch exclusively to iron. We'll leave some of this behind. The whole point of this chest is not have to carry it. Only take the good stuff back up for now. I didn't even need to bring these down at all. I need to bring more wood down. Hopefully, our that. I said it might be worthwhile exploring more down here, but now that I'm back in here and I see it a little better, there's not much that I see in the way of places to go. That might lead to something, maybe. But I think diamonds should be the priority now. Down there. Whoa, look at that right there. I guess it's good, but I don't have an iron pick, so I can't. So we'll just remind ourselves, why is that torch over there? Oh, right. There's a diamond I forgot about. Couldn't get to. With water like this, you have to worry about suffocating unless you kind of stay on the edge of it as you swim up it. I like to call it chasing waterfalls. I never did really know that phrase with that song. I've never heard it before that song or outside of that song. I think it means don't go chasing dumb situations. I'm chasing. Ahead, I'm chasing. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about because you're young or don't remember or whatever, that's I have DLC. Really, really big hit in the late 90s. Or maybe mid 90s. Maybe like 96. I'm dating myself, I guess. Maybe it's time to have another chest. Valuable. Other than just for the single time. That and eventually we'll get these all labeled. Now, some of these things I'm putting over here aren't necessarily valuable. I just want to keep them. It'll be easier to find. In a mess like this, which a lot of people, thanks to Scar, refer to as a chest monster. Yep. Yep. There's valuable stuff. That. And I said I wanted to get wood. You know what? I might as well just chop some. Actually, I should also sleep. The Phantom's gonna start one. Maybe what I'll do is not sleep for a few days, just so people who haven't seen a Phantom can. They ask who hasn't seen a Phantom. Well, I'll tell you who hasn't seen a Phantom. B-Dubs. Because B-Dubs sleeps. Or rather, shrieks. And some of my viewers are new to Minecraft and have told me that they appreciate when I explain things. Anyone who expresses interest in a game that I devoted so much of my life and time to, I am quite happy to explain anything about it that they want to know. Because I rather enjoy it. And something that someone else is enjoying, I'll talk about it all day long. Another thing we should probably do as we're going around the world, I'd like to go on another expedition once I spend a little more time getting diamonds and more iron. I want to get more variant tree saplings so we can have everything growing. Then we can have all the types growing right here where we can easily. And this island is so big, we can put them really wherever we want. We could really do everything we want to do for years on this island and not run out of space. But of course, I don't think that would be very interesting. I'd like to follow. Just have this sort of be where I live. But I think looking at the same biome all day, every day, that I will be doing a terraform project where I turn this entire island into grass instead of mycelium. Because of the principle. It's about the principle. That's a hermit craft. If you're not picking up what I'm putting down. This group of people, one of the more well-known groups of people who play Minecraft are known as the Hermits. They play on a server called Hermitcraft, and it's just a lot of fun to watch. Some of the just really talented people. in many different ways. Some are excellent builders, some are excellent technical aspects of Minecraft. Um, some are very well rounded and do it all. They're all very entertaining, and I enjoy watching them. Um, but they had a situation a couple seasons ago where their main commercial and social hub was on an island like this, on Island, and they had a mare race, and the guy who won, Scar, one of his campaign promises to replace all of the mycelium, what this stuff here is, with grass, which everyone thought was a wonderful idea, and he won the election because of that as well as other things. And then Grian, one of the sort of, he's an excellent builder, but he's very much a showman, very much an entertainer. Um, I would say his biggest skill is that and the shenanigans he gets into. And he started this thing about how he was opposed to replacing the grass or replacing the mycelium with the grass, and he would always, when asked why, he would say, "It's the principle of the matter." And there was no point. It was all fun. It was all just to be silly and for laughs, and it turned into a whole thing called turf wars of mycelium people versus grass people, and everyone involved just really hammed it up and made for some funny interactions and pranks and those sorts of things. I enjoy watching that. I enjoy doing that sort of thing when I'm on a multiplayer one as well, and when that sort of thing is done to me, got a lot of oak saplings. I was hoping that 2 birch trees would have dropped more birch. Then, alright, we have 2 birch saplings now, so we can replace what we had, but I was hoping they'd drop more than 2. But anyway, if you're interested in learning more about Hermitcraft, all you need to do is go to YouTube and type in Hermitcraft. I'm a big fan, and most of the people that I play this game with are. We'll plant our 2 birch. Yes, I'm definitely have plenty of oak. I was hoping I get more acacia than that too. That one acacia. Did I miss? It doesn't appear to be decaying. I wonder if I missed. There's a hidden log. If you don't get all of the log out, the trees, the leaves don't decay. There's looks like they're decaying now, but obviously I'm there too. That one. And I have a plugin called Fast Leaf Decay, so that should help some. I just hate waiting for these leaves to decay because it can be so slow. You know, I work 40-50 hours a week, and when I play Minecraft, I just want to play. I don't want to stand here waiting for leaves to just fall out of the sky. And another reason to get oh, yep, we got them all. I see it decaying. Another reason to get all the logs is because if you don't, this stuff doesn't decay, and it just looks silly. I mean, we mined a whole floating thing the other day just because I thought it looked silly. I don't mind a bit of stuff, but that's not the kind of serious. And I wonder if I missed a log over here, because this should have decayed by now too, with the plug-in that I have. At least it seems. Oh. I'm using the sapling to do this rather than the axe. The best tool to do it with is actually a hoe. That'd be the fastest. I don't typically keep a hoe in my inventory, and I really should just keep one like right by the trees. But doing this actually will wear the axe down, whereas it won't wear a sapling down. Saplings don't have durability. Um, and since it's the same speed as an axe, why compromise the axe's durability? This gets the job done just as well as anything but oh. There's, well, looks like it might be decaying. I'm gonna say it looks like it might be something. There it is. When you plant the trees this close together, it's hard to tell which is which. We'll leave it alone for now. Fortunately, the leaves don't really block trees from growing. So these should all start growing. Guard. Whether or not we get all the leaves. I'm not a big fan of acacia, but I want the option to have it. So I'm gonna keep planting it anyway. My favorite variant wood is probably dark oak. I haven't come across it yet. If I did, that's not what I had on my mind. I didn't think to get any apples. You can also get apples from oak and dark oak trees. Sticks, saplings drop randomly from any leaf, and that's also the case for oak and dark oak. But oak and dark oak can also drop apples. I'm not gonna sleep because, like I said, some people might want to see a phantom. Yeah, I out or steak. We'll have to cook it. I've been mining, and I found it. I have sugar. Not as I might think about it. So, yeah, we will have to go back to it. But I don't mind. What might be worthwhile is what we talked about minutes ago. the other type of tree. Start have those grow. Yeah. So weird. There's cows. They're just not spawning. Whether first day. I also been thinking over the last couple of days. The first things I always do, I just get enough materials to feed and clothe myself. And typically, my first projects are building a starter house. I did on the flower forest. Like I said, a bed is good to have shelter. We want it because it'll look cool. It's just not a priority. I forgot what I was talking. Oh yeah, the first things I always do are a villager trading hall, so I can get all the enchantments and other materials I want. And iron. I've been thinking, I know I want the iron probably be spawn. Then it would be nice to have a villager trading here, but I could instead set it up at Banana Island. I don't trans the frustrating things you can do in the game. Just trans. Now I would really only have to transport two, provided those two villagers die. But the thought of transporting only two villagers to this island, not that good. But on the other hand, I don't have to mob the island. We make them safe elsewhere. Have to go to them. Then of course I don't want whatever's easiest to do. Rather in this situation, easy don't back then. Well, you know what? Maybe I don't really have a theme. Typically, I do modern stuff. Skyscraper, massive boats, back there, not scale, massive pirate. That I need to think about that. Going along with the how trading hall. We do. We want it to reflect like Fraser Crane living. I one theme here and then another theme on the villager trading island. Another theme over at South West Iron. Uh, Iron golems are used to get them. They poppy flower poppy. Oh, but it would be kind of cool to have this idea here and there. I already know. But it will. Here's what we take our equipment. Fine. Actually, then we hop in our boat. We go see if we spruce tree, apple, name dark oak, jungle, and there's also mangrove variant that well, it's not new, red. Oak, birch, spruce, dark oak, jungle, acacia, mangrove, and then there's two nether variants as well. Maybe we should go ahead and make an iron pick, get some of this obsidian, go to the nether, see if we can get stuff. Of course, the flip side of that is I believe I also have a bunch of bones to make the nether trees grow. And the easiest way to get that would be to make a skeleton farm. That would require a skeleton farm spawner. And we haven't found one yet because they probably don't exist on biomes like this one. That's another reason to not spend all the time here. We'll lose out on some of the benefits that come with having hostile mobs around. Specifically, drop. Yeah, I think that'll be the plan. We're gonna go out and get variants so that we have that option. Because, like I said, even though a starter house is a priority, still want one. What's over there? It's not interesting. Let's have a bed and a chest. I've done a lot of building mushroom. Bit played out. We'll see. Wait, there. Well, I have that first spot. Waiting. It's gonna harvest. Farming will come in handy if you have make some farmer help other start with farm crop trade and trade with other act. Even one would be proof. I may have said this one time. Yeah. Okay. It used to be, at least on legacy consoles, broke believes manually the way I'm doing right now. Reduce the chance of getting zapped. Dick. That is. But we still didn't get it. Pay for rockets, so after we get the villages, trading iron creepers drop them out of that. That was a mistake. Sure. I'm gonna be eventually I'll start worrying. Island's good. You know what? Maybe I am tired of the roof head. Maybe we'll put it back. Well, you know what? Because it's special, just like you. Okay. Let's see. It's gonna be nice to have that I wouldn't see again. But then I'd like to have two things. I left the other thing behind, didn't I? And okay, we can I will chop a little bit more wood here just to make the night fall. And or if I'm wrong, it's 2 nights. On the second, in which case, say screw it, and we'll go look for trees. See what we can. Don't worry, they will pop up. And we will be pleased if they do. So if we don't get them now, they will be. The way they work is if you don't sleep for 3 days, things spawn and die. They, I guess, sort of closest to real life. And they even move them. They fly in pairs. And they appear, haven't slept for 3 days. They just dive bomb. The impact can cause damage. They enough of them do it enough times, die, or let's say you're building something like I like to build giant skyscrapers. You off. They don't. So it pays to sleep every day. Trying. Now, why in the world would you want to? The reason being, you don't have the ending to change. Why you don't have the ending. I would understand if you don't. You can carry your elytra And if you have the mob head plugin like I do, the head. So that's why you would want it. Okay. Maybe you're just trying to build a zoo, catch all of the animals. But those are the only, maybe for a prank. Yeah, I'm turning out a zoo. Sun will be down in about a minute. We'll know very soon after it does. I'm always pro. Not, but I have never enjoyed chocolate. This, stuff filler up each of it. If you hear those sounds, maybe a bird. It's not actually a natural game. I have data pack called ambient sound that adds it, stuff like that. It varies biome to biome, but time of day and also weather. It just adds it. The only thing it is sound. Gain it. Not like the gamma thing. Where I felt like that was cheap. Kind of glad we found a solution. Didn't really feel like I was mining. Right. Nope. I just had this feeling that I had just been okay. Kind of get a feel for a while whether or not it's okay by how much of it remains. Don't look at it and get back a few seconds later. Yeah. Okay, clearly it's the second when the Phantom's gonna start attacking. But I don't want to wait another 10 minutes for it to be day and then another 10 minutes after that for it to be night again. So I'm going to go ahead and sleep because I also don't want to be attacked by phantoms while we're out. Especially if I'm in a boat. Middle of the ocean and have no place to put a bed. Okay, so I think what's the best way to go? Probably I mean, we really only have 4 options. And as I mentioned, I have a world border. That's going too far. I can only go, I think, another 1,000 blocks east before I hit that. So it probably makes more sense to go back this way and then go to northwest, southwest. And since we sort of came directly west, either one could really be as promising together. We did kind of do a button hook north last time. Maybe south would be the way to go, because that's the least amount of time in that direction. At least we have 0. So now that we finally arrived at the side here, so I think that's what we'll do. Go south. And again, we're looking for dark oak, spruce, mangrove, and jungle tree. And we'll see how lucky we get finding any or all of them. And maybe along the way, we'll find a shipwreck or 2. We still have to go back to that first ship we found and get the stuff we left behind because our inventory was too full, and it had the buried treasure map that we could use to maybe go find some stuff. Hopefully one of those being part of the ocean. That will certainly come in handy when tackling the ocean monument, because we'll be able to breathe underwater if we build that close enough and correctly, which we will. Yep, that might be a shipwreck. I'm pretty sure it is. And we're still finding out. So we we have a shipwreck. Oh no. It's really close to the ocean monument. Was that even a shipwreck at all? It sure looked like one. I think I see it down there, but man, it is so close. It is so close to the ocean monument. I'm scared to go there. We're going to end up being attacked, and we have iron now, but the iron armor we have is not enchanted. Yeah, that's the shipwreck, right? Yeah, I'm not gonna brave that one just yet. I wonder if that's an ocean monument we've already accounted for, or if that's one we hadn't seen yet. Cause that could make like number 7 or 8 around the island. We'll have to do something to visually tag them, and then get an actual real count when we get a little bit better gear and it's safer to do so. Because I am genuinely curious about how many monuments are around that thing. Cause that's just a concentration of them that you really don't see. When the update that brought them to the game came out, it was like that at first, and it always is, because when they introduce a new thing, they increase the rates of what it would be, because that's what everyone wants to see. But once everyone gets used to it and whatnot, they drop the rates back to a more normal level. And I think that update came out in 2018, so it's been 5 years since I've seen those things spawn at that rate. Now I did catch a glimpse of what I thought might be some underwater ruins. This might be them right here. Sometimes those have things worthwhile stuff in them, so we're gonna check that out. Oh nope, there's ground in there. I wish I had a bow and some arrows. Well, I thought maybe they would come. Okay. Thought it might come with it. I'm not seeing any treasure chests. Or, not treasure, just regular. It's really just a regular chest. Chest got treasure. And there's almost certainly nothing in there that's worth fighting off 3 drowned with the level of equipment that we presently have. I'm just glad none of them had tridents, or we probably would be dead. Some of them spawn with tridents, which are a ranged weapon they can throw at you, and they have unlimited tridents. Well, truthfully, I'm not sure if they have unlimited tridents, or if the tridents they have all have an enchantment called Loyalty, in which it goes back to you. It doesn't really matter. They don't run out of tridents. They keep throwing them at you till one of you is dead. I mean, I guess technically they're already dead, but, like, they're undead. You know what I mean. Not only is this was that a big mushroom island, this is a very big ocean. There's something over there, I think. Take a closer look. There's some more ruins. There might be something right there that we can maybe salvage from. Sometimes there's a chest in them, sometimes there's not. This one doesn't appear to be occupied by any drowned. And it looks like there is a chest. Let's take a look. Might not be able to open it. There's sand on top. Sand is another gravity block. We got an enchanted fishing. I should have just broken the chest and let it all float to the top. See what we got. Oh! I heard him right before he hit me. That... Oh, no, we're gonna have to kill him now. Any mob that's holding an item will never despawn, and I just don't want. We don't need a never despawning ground over here. There we go. Back up. And I would like to see what enchantment this fishing rod has. Unbreaking 2, okay. So I guess we can go over what fishing rods do as well. Obviously, you fish with them, but how does fishing work in Minecraft? Well, let's take a quick look at it. So you can catch fish, but you can catch other things too, and depending on your enchantment on your fishing rod, the likelihood of what you get and how fast you get it changes. Wait for this to, it'll be obvious. Watch. Bubble will swim up to it and then it'll go into water. And it happens faster at night and in the rain. There's the bubbles. Alright. What do we get? We got leather. Okay. You can also, actually I'm not sure of all the things you can get because they changed a lot of the, what's called a loot table, which is basically what you can get from fishing and the percentage, the statistical likelihood that you'll get it. They've changed that since I've not really done a lot of fishing since then. I think the last time it changed, I was already well advanced in the world I was in at the time, where I didn't really need to fish. But it can be fun. There's the bubbles. I wanted to. I don't really want to fish that long. I think everyone gets the idea, but I've gotten 2 different types of fish. I've got leather. Let's see if I get one of rare items, but we can do that later because I do want to get a sapling and probably making finding a bed. Yep, that's all I'm gonna do as far as fishing. What you're seeing there is the world border I was talking about. And it looks like it goes right through this island. So we've gone as far south as we can go until I remove that world border. And I'm not seeing any trees of the variant that I don't have, except maybe just on the other side of it. I think those are jungle trees, but we can't cross it or we'll die. And I'm sure that I made the world large enough to where there should be some jungle trees elsewhere. And if I'm wrong and they're not, we'll just remember that they're there, and when I remove the world border, we'll come back and we'll get. It's an aesthetic thing. It's not you can't make this because you didn't have jungle trees. It doesn't work that way. With the exception, of course, being cocoa beans, because the only place you can get them from is jungle trees, and the only thing to grow them on is jungle trees. But if we have to do without cocoa beans for a couple months till the update comes out, I guess we'll be okay. Have the ability to make brown dye or cookies and maybe one or two other things. I can't remember all the things you can make with cocoa beans, but one of them that I use is brown dye. I don't ever make cookies. It's not a useful food variant. Unless I'm on a multiplayer server and I'll make a batch and then offer people cookies as a gesture. Oh, there's a creeper. We'll be farming those for gunpowder. I think that's our island. But I go north of that. Huh. I wonder how this will look. I don't hold the torch. I think you can still see. Yeah. Maybe it's preferable if it's a little brighter though. I'm not seeing anything we don't have already, except the ones we couldn't reach. But we'll keep looking. But looks like that's all birch and oak as well. I remember the world I've been playing on the last. I've been saying 4 years, but actually we're coming up on 5. I think I started it. I want to say April or May of 2018. And it's almost April of 2023. I had to go, I want to say over 2,000 blocks in every direction to spawn before I found something that wasn't a savanna or a desert. other than a few very small patches that really one probably wouldn't consider a real biome because it just was so small. We'll check out this village real quick and also make it daytime. Sleep. See what these folks have. And maybe we can do. I see a couple composters. This is what turns villagers into farmers. Cats also spawn naturally in villages. And I think there are, I want to say 13 variants of cat that have a chance of spawning. I mentioned Hermitcraft earlier. One of the guys on there, Scar, his gamer tag is actually Good Time with Scar. He, in his fame, his cat also became famous. His cat named Jelly. And when they introduced the idea that they were going to have cat variants, they let the community vote on one of them. And the community decided that we all wanted Scar's cat in the game. So that cat is called Jelly Cat, named after Scar's cat. And I always thought that was. And I hope that they do that with dogs. I would like the dog variant. It used to be if you tamed an ocelot that you found in the jungle, it would turn into a cat. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. It's been a long time, so I might be slightly off about how it works. And then they changed it so you can still tame an ocelot, but it doesn't turn into a cat. They're separate things. And you can tame wolves, but those are just tamed wolves. They're not dogs. And I've always hoped that they change that to a tamed wolf becomes a dog, and then maybe depending on what biome you tame it in, or not tame it in because they only spawn in certain biomes, but maybe what biome you breed it in after you tame it. You can get different variants of dog. What we have here is a brewing stand. That is how you make potion. Well, that's the main component. There are lots of other components as well. We'll get into what those are later. Potion brewing is not very complicated, but it's more complicated than it's worth explaining at the moment. These are the poppies I was talking about. Iron golems will often be holding. They also offer them to baby them sometimes. I do have a special data pack or rather texture pack that makes the flowers look different. They don't look like different things. But after 9 years of playing, I just like them better. You have to, yeah, need to pay more attention to house stuff. Sitting here explaining things, and not paying attention. Okay, yeah, we started over there. We had it. With that jerk. Potion brewing stands are what make clerics, who you can then trade various things for. If I were to trade with the cleric, this level would go up, and the next thing would be I forget the next level, but there's 5 levels. It goes up to master, and each one unlocks 2 trades, and the trades get better and better, and there's various mechanics you can exploit in the game to make all the trades cheaper as well. But we'll get into those when I actually make the village trading. I'm gonna leave this stand behind because I have now. It is nice to have several, but we're just not at the point in the game where I really want to be storing all that or keeping up with it. Now this is a blacksmith house. You tell by the way it is, and that it's made out of aspen. You see? No. These are always the most useful houses in the village. Well, usually they are. They typically will have the best stuff, like obsidian. I now have half the obsidian I need to make another board. And I should find iron armor, or other even better armor, I think. And the grindstone. These aren't hard to make, so I'm gonna leave it. Maybe I'll come back if I'm desperate, but I don't think I have ever been so desperate for a grindstone that I could, because I couldn't make it. I don't think I've ever liked that. But brewing stands require a little bit, so I did stuff you have to get together. I'm pretty sure you have to, since I can't get to the nether. I need city. I feel. Now this time, I didn't think to remind everyone where we parked, and I don't remember where we parked. I remember seeing a composter when I came up. That one over there might have been. Did I already go in all these? I think I may have been all over this village now. Maybe I didn't go up here. I don't remember seeing the horses. Yeah, I didn't. Well, it's a fletching table. That's for Fletchers, of course. They have some pretty excellent trades. You can trade sticks and get emeralds. It's one of the most overpowered. Oh, it's a cute little baby black sheep. One of the most overpowered trades in the game. Right? That was a stone cutter that we just saw. Big. Is that my boat? There's my boat. Alright, we got a decent haul. Got some emeralds, some obsidian. We have coal and chart? No. Why those were good stuff. We got some stuff from fishing. And we got a brewing stand. So we will move on now. And continue heading. We're going west, right? We're going west. So we have to go north, I guess, to go west. Here's another flower forest, it looks like. Again, just oak and birch. None of the wood variants we're looking for. Heard a dolphin. There's a dolphin. One thing about dolphins is see if we can exploit it. If you swim near them, yeah, you see the thing up in the top left corner of the dolphin? That's called Dolphin Grace. If you swim next to them for a little while, they'll give you that special ability and you can swim much faster while you have it. It doesn't last long, but it's nice to have while you do have it. And there's nothing farmable from dolphins that makes it worthwhile. They're really just an ambient thing in the game. If you have the plugin, you can kill them and get their head, which I like to have all the heads, but I always feel bad killing it all. So it's probably something we need to check. They can also drop, I think, fish and maybe bones, which I guess are supposed to be fish bones. And you can get fish and bones so much easier than by killing dolphins. So I just don't think anyone does. I was hoping maybe going inland, we see some different biomes with trees are looking for. I guess I was not as lucky as I hoped. It would be a good time to shreep, so we'll do that. And it's another beautiful morning. Alright. I don't, like I said before, I don't like to look at the map a lot. Because I feel like I don't learn where everything is that way and I become dependent on it. But I do just want to get an idea of where I am. What is that? Oh, I know what that is. That's something that's not actually on this map. My server host kicked me from the server when I first joined and put me in a lobby that you get put in automatically if your server crashes, and that's what that thing is. It overwrote my map with the lobby from the the sort of placeholder server. When your own server, you lose connection. So that's what that was. I'm gonna keep going west. Might traverse over some land for a while. Yeah, that thing on the map was very confusing because I couldn't think of a single natural structure. Like, you know, a village, or there's ocean monuments, but there's also jungle temples and desert temples. And all those things can spawn naturally, but that thing on the map that didn't resemble anything I'd ever seen before, so it took me a second to realize what I was seeing. But once we cross that area again, the map will be overwritten with what is actually here, and hopefully the connection just doesn't result in me having to overwrite that over and over again as we go on. If so, I might need to look into other hosting options. I'm not unhappy with this at this, other than how they treat crafting tables being kind of, but that is, I think, one of the ways it's cosmetics, and you access those cosmetics through the crafting table. And I tried to delete it, and it just reinstalled the game. And I've seen other people talk about that because I googled it, and apparently it's just not a thing you can get rid of. But we have found spruce trees, so that's good. So let's chop some down, get some spruce wood, and hopefully some saplings. Spruce trees are a little different from what we've seen before. Unlike the birch and the oak, you can plant them two different ways. I can plant them just like this here, or I can plant them there, 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 and there, and then they'll grow much taller, and there'll be 4 blocks instead of 1. And it's a great way to get a lot of spruce wood at once if you grow them that way. And also when you do them with the variant with them being 2x2 rather than just one, it also produces a type of soil around it called podzol, which doesn't really do anything, but it's just a variant. You know, variation is nice. I'm all for variation. We do kind of have to hang around and wait for these leaves to decay. It's another reason I'm glad I have the fast leaf decay. I'm just gonna stand here waiting for sapling. Quite as long. You can also pick up stuff like this. This is a fern. These are called too tall ferns, not TOO, but TWO. But you have to have shears to get them. I don't have shears. To make shears, you just need 2 pieces of iron. So, not very expensive, but also at this point in the game, it's not something I really care about. Ah! You don't want to hit a bee. If you hit a bee, they get angry and they attack you. And then all the bees around also attack you. And then they all die. But we don't want it. Bees don't actually look like that in the normal game. I have another texture pack. There is a player on Hermitcraft known as Keralis, and his player skin has giant eyes, and one time him and this guy, another guy on Hermitcraft, dressed up as bees, the other guy being Azuma Void, who one of his things is he always dresses up as sort of the most recent animal or creature that has been added to the game, and at that point it was bees. And Keralis was hanging out with him one day, and they both ended up dressed like bees that day. And then someone went and made a special thing where there is a bee-looking version of something called a Wandering Trader that looks like Azuma's bee guy, and they made bees look like Keralis because Keralis and Azuma built a giant bee with Keralis' face on it. And that's how that all happened. And I just thought it was so amusing that when they came out with this texture pack, I had to have it. To me, the bees don't look right anymore unless they have the Keralis face on them. And Keralis is definitely someone worth checking out as well. He's one of the more modern builders as far as his style is modern architecture. He can do it all. He also specializes in vehicles. That's what he's best known for. It's modern skyscrapers and vehicles. Being that I love skyscrapers, I really enjoy watching Keralis. So, all right, we have 16 saplings now. I think that's enough to get us started. We can move on to looking for more biomes and more wood variants. And as I've been saying, hopefully we just get lucky sooner rather than later. We might also see some other stuff we haven't seen yet in this biome. We're in a taiga now, so we can see some berries grow here. I haven't seen any yet. And we can also run into foxes. Which I have also not seen. And foxes you can actually sort of tame. They won't be as tame as you can get a cat, a dog, or not a dog, or a wolf. But you can breed them, and you can give them actually like a sword or something like that, and they'll carry it around in their mouth. Whatever you give them, they'll carry around in their mouth, except food, which they'll eat. And if you give them that sword, they will then attack other things with that sword, like chickens. So you can actually use foxes to farm chickens. And if you give them a sword with a flame enchantment, They'll even cook the chickens for you when they kill them. So this is interesting. We're on a beach biome, but the beach is next to a river, and a taiga village has spawned on the beach. That can happen when a village spawns on the edge of a biome. It will take that biome's algorithm to make a specific type of village. In this case, it made a taiga village, but the block that it told it was a taiga and told it to make a village was on the edge, and so we have a taiga village on the beach. And but the beach itself is not really a beach; it's by a river. And the biome villages do have variants. Like you noticed, there was like yellow beds in savanna. I think there are orange ones in the jungle. Taiga, we have purple. The villagers wear different things. Like, I know that's a librarian because of his hat and his glasses, but his outfit will be a different color in different biomes. And there's some villagers where they'll end up with a certain outfit in certain biomes, but villages don't spawn there, so you have to actually take a couple villagers to that biome and then breed them there, and then their children will have that biome's villager look, but villagers won't otherwise occur there naturally. This is a librarian's house, you can tell because of the bookcases and the lectern. And librarian houses look different in different villages. We'll just sleep. One thing we want to make sure of is when we're near villages, unless we've protected that village with walls or sealed the villagers in their house, zombies will come around. There's a wolf now, and there's a fox. Zombies will come around and well, they won't kill them all. They'll turn them all into zombie villagers. Now, the wolves you can tame. You can do it with bones. You can do it with steak. Now, normally zombies can't come out in the day, but he must have spawned just as the sun was setting. And then if zombies are under something like these leaves, or if it's raining, or both, they won't die until the rain stops, or until they leave the shelter of the tree. Like, it wouldn't die here, it would here it would die because they catch on fire when they see the sun, or when they're under the sun. So we're going to try to tame this wolf. Oh wow, we got it the first try. Alright. And when they're tame, they typically get a red collar, but I don't see... Oh no, he's not tame. Maybe I just killed him? Maybe you do have to have bones to tame one. I haven't had to tame one in so long. Yeah, I think you have to have bones. Here's what I'll do. I'll just Google it real quick and we'll get that answer. Yep, it has to be a bone. I think maybe a long time ago you could do it with other things like steak. Or it's entirely possible that I'm mixing up what you can breed them with what you can feed them after you've tamed them. Here's the berries I was talking about, so we'll take actually some of those. And those plant like they also are a great deterrent for an anti-mob deterrent, because when you run into them, they have briars on them. and the mobs don't like that. So we'll have to come back over here when we have some bones, and then we can get some tame wolves. And wolves are useful because they'll follow you around, and anything you attack, they'll attack with you, and anything that attacks you, whether you attack it or not, they'll attack it. But I typically don't use that because I find I'd rather defend myself than my dog die. So we got the spruce variant. Now we're looking for jungle and dark oak and mangrove. And of course we're also looking for whatever other sorts of adventures we randomly encounter. Okay. Now get back on foot and see what we can find. You can also tame horses, but even if I tame one, you can't control it unless you have a saddle, and unfortunately you can't craft saddles, you can only find them. And typically you'll find them in a chest in an abandoned mine or another naturally generated structure. There's a thing called a raid, and one of the mobs known as a ravager, it looks kind of like a giant bull. They're very powerful and difficult to kill. They can drop a saddle, so there's no point in taming a horse yet because we won't be able to control it. Just sit on it and it will go wherever it pleases. And then when the new update comes, as I was mentioning before with the cherry blossoms, the horse breeding mechanics are changing, and they're changing for the better. Right now it takes the 2 horses that you use to breed a baby horse, I guess a colt, and it takes the averages, and now it will take the max and use the max to breed to create the stats for the new horse. Sort of. It's more involved than that, but that's the gist of it. If you were to tell someone that's how it worked, they would that they should be satisfied with that answer. Now that mine over there might be a dark oak forest. I think we have found. Yep. I think these are technically known as roofed forests. Dark forest. Okay. There's so many different names for these things. They've changed over the years. Like the Badlands used to be known as mesas, and I still forget that and call them mesas even now, even though they've been Badlands longer than they were mesas at this point. Anyway, dark oak also grows like the spruce variation I was mentioning, where it's 2x2 rather than 1. But unlike spruce, where you have the option of either, dark oak will only grow 4x5, 2x2. And its minimum height is also 1 block higher than all the other variations' minimum height, except maybe mangrove. I do not know the answer on what the minimum height is relative to other variants, because I have not done enough stuff with mangrove. I've actually not even grown them myself. I've only just gone and chopped them down to get the thing grown I needed. They're more difficult to farm because of their root system, and I've just not bothered with it. I do love the woodberry, and I think other than dark oak, it's probably the one I prefer the most. It's got sort of a red tint to it. It's almost it almost looks like mahogany, maybe. Not quite, more of a reddish, but it is a nice looking plot. I like it. I do tend to find I usually end up with more dark oak than anything else, simply because I like it, but also because you just get so much more wood chopping the dark oak tree down than other types of trees. It's 4 trees and it's the wood of 4 trees grown into one. The unfortunate thing is, sort of like we saw earlier with birch, we didn't really get a lot of saplings from it. Dark oak can be that way as well sometimes, where you need 4 saplings to grow one, but sometimes the tree only drops 3. And this was another slight error on my part, in that I'm so used to having overpowered gear, didn't think about my axe wearing out this quickly. Normally I could chop for much longer than this before I ran out of durability on my axe. We're gonna have to wait a minute for the dark oak sapling to fall, and I think I'm not gonna leave less than 8, so I have a chance of getting enough for 2 trees, because hopefully 2 trees will at least give me enough for 1 tree. And we do have the good fortune now of knowing where to come get more if we need it. Fortunately, this particular dark oak is being generous with its sapling drops. In my experience, the most difficult tree when it comes to dropping saplings has been the jungle tree. Jungle trees pose other problems as well. They tend to cause lag. Not necessarily the trees, but the mechanics of the biome they grow in. It has lots of moving parts, and it's very dense vegetation. There's vines. Vines never stop growing, so the game is constantly checking to see if it needs to make a vine grow based on its random chance system. And this all slows the game down. But they do look nice. And jungle trees are like spruce in that you have the option to plant them as 1 sapling or 2 by 2. And like the spruce, if you plant them 2 by 2, they will grow quite tall. The good thing we picked up this axe in that village. Or I might have to make a wooden or stone axe. We got spoiled with that iron axe, I guess. And I hear a zombie. Looks like there's a lush cave down there. You can tell because I see some glowberries. And lush caves are really interesting features as well. I don't really feel equipped to venture into one right now, and I also uh, I don't really have the time to do that tonight. But we can notate in our mind, hey, remember, come back here for a lush cave. There's lots of cool blocks down there. There's more glowberries. There's these things called drip leaves, which look sort of like those elephant ear plants, and they can grow at different heights. You can actually jump on them as if they were a block, but then if you stand on them too long, they fall. It's the fun mechanic. You can get these things. Their name escapes me at the moment, but they're pink. They have four giant leaves, and they make these particles fly through the air. And it's kind of pretty to look at. And I don't know why I can't remember their name right now. Sorry, I got an unexpected text from my boss and was responding to that real quick and forgot myself for a second. Sorry about that. Um, but everything's okay. We're all good. I was hoping I could get at least 8, and we got 10 of the sapling. I'll go back down here and see. We've been playing a while, and it's getting to the point where I probably would be hopping off. I'm gonna play a little bit longer and see if I can get at least the jungle or mangrove variant before I sign off. So this ravine go west any further, so maybe this is where we start heading north again. And well, we're at another ravine. This is one of the things about early game that I enjoy and always forget. Once you get an elytra and you can fly around everywhere, you miss seeing the terrain this way. But also you can go across ravines without thinking about it. I do like being able to see how pretty everything and interesting everything can be, but the convenience of the elytra is just so nice. I will say that my experience on the last world that I spent a lot of time on, being that I had to go so far to see anything that wasn't desert or savanna, I much prefer this over that. Though I did really enjoy that world. I still do play on it sometimes. But I think this will become my main one for now and probably for a long time as well. I've been on the old world for 5 years now, and I'll probably be on it several more years. And I'd like to play this world that long too, based on what I've seen so far. I think that's entirely possible. Well, we've reached the western world border now, so the thing to do now is go north, for sure. And it is unlikely that there's no jungle or mangrove, but it is possible. So we may have to do without. We'll explore the whole map before we give up, but I'm hoping we'll find the other variants tonight. Like I said, we'll be here for years, so if they aren't available to us within the world border, we'll just get them in a couple months, and that will not be a problem. There will be plenty to do where we don't need them before we even get to that. But if we have them before that point, it will certainly be nice. But with all the other really, really cool things that we found on this seed so far, I have a good feeling that we're going to find some jungle and mangrove. In fact, I think that's jungle right there. Pretty sure that's some jungle trees over there. Let's go take a look. Alright, another place to make some wolf friends and get some bones. Hey there, buddy. Now, wolves are what you call, I believe, neutral mobs, in that they will not attack you unless you attack them. And further, if you attack them, the entire pack will attack you. Also, their eyes will turn red. Yep, we have a jungle tree. And this, I think, is a really rare biome variant. I think it's called a jungle edge. That's Stony Shore. Jungle, no. It looks a lot like a jungle edge biome. Either way, that might be a shipwreck. Yep, it sure is. So we'll get some jungle wood, some saplings, some cocoa beans. We'll check out that shipwreck. We'll see how we're doing on time. And we might go for the mangrove tonight. We are running out of space. I mean, I could do without the feather. I could throw away the fish as well. That'd be fine. Question is, how hard is it going to be to get the jungle sap? We can't get vines, unfortunately. You have to have shears to get those. But we can always come back for those later. Another difficult thing about jungle is you technically almost have to chop it down twice because it's so tall. You have to pillar up with the stuff you just chopped down to get the stuff you couldn't reach before. Jungles also are going to have bamboo wood, which is a really great block you can use to make scaffolding, which is really just great because you can build it up really, really quickly when you're working on another project, and then just you can hit the bottom one and it will all fall down and you don't have to worry about disassembling it. And all you need is bamboo and string, so it's really cheap. And if you lose it, you don't care, you just make more. And I think bamboo grows faster than just about anything else in the game. I'm going for the smaller jungle trees just because the amount of foliage they have is is not really much less than the bigger ones, and all I have left is one stone axe, and I don't want to have to deal with making another axe. I'm hoping this will last me long enough to get the rest of the stuff I'm looking for. We're probably going to have to make another axe. And now that I think about it, maybe the thing to do is, while we're waiting for some of these saplings to hopefully fall, we can go to that shipwreck. And while we're standing here, I can get rid of some of this stuff and free up some inventory, because we might need it with that shipwreck. A lot of this stuff I can get very easy. Place. It's sterile. And we do have one jungle sap. With my luck, we'll go back with one sapling, plant it, and then that tree won't drop any. So while these two trees are decaying, let's go look and see what's in the ship. Fortunately, this one's almost on the surface, so breathing won't be as, or the lack of the ability to breathe won't be as hazardous, because we won't have to be down there as long. Oh, lots of iron. Okay, so we can make another iron axe. Got stuck in the doorway. Alright. Let's see here. Use that exploit with the air pocket. Oh, we have a buried treasure. Okay. Well, we don't really have time to go after that tonight either. So I'm gonna leave it here rather than take it back, just because if we keep it here, we know it's still in the ship, and we know the treasure's close by. If we take it back home, we have to then. It's more, the farther you are away from that little dot indicator, the harder it is to track down where you're supposed to go. So it's better to just leave it here till you found it. So that's what we'll do. Okay. Let's see how those tiny little trees we chopped down are doing. They didn't decay at all. Alright. Well, we are not getting lucky with the sapling drops. So I'm going to say, if I can just get 4 on And if we think about it, maybe tomorrow we can do some more mining, and then when we're ready for a break from that, we can tackle one or maybe both of these treasure maps. One more sap. Alright, no closing. There went my axe. So what I'll do is I'll come over here and I will build a crafting table right here. And I'll put that there. And then we'll see that on the shore, and then we'll remember, oh yeah, that's about where the shipwreck is. In case we miss the shipwreck, we'll have this secondary indicator letting us know that this is where we need to look. And we'll go ahead and make another act. Got lucky. That's kind of one of the reasons I went to the shipwreck, because I was hoping to have iron in it so that I could make an iron axe instead of stone. Alright, this jungle tree does have quite a bit of foliage, so I'm gonna chop this one down. Maybe this one, just through the sheer numbers of it, will get a little better return. Since I have a brand new axe, I'm not worried, or as worried, about having to deal with making more. I mean, it's not hard, it's just like, it's not how I want to spend my time. I'm also spoiled by having virtually unbreaking tools, being what I'm used to. Also, they're much faster because they have an enchantment on called efficiency, specifically efficiency 5. But you can have efficiency 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. 5 being the fastest. Yeah, 10 minutes time of chopping down trees. We took a short break for the shipwreck, but 10 minutes chopping trees, and we have 2 saplings, 3. So my experience with a poor return on jungle sapling continues. I swear I thought was that an oak one I picked up? I swear I heard myself pick one up, but the number didn't change in my inventory. Alright, we have 4 now. That's good. I said I'd stop when we got 4, but I'm gonna stick around for this one last tree to decay, and okay, we'll get a couple more, and we'll probably be glad that we stuck around for that. We can see I can get rid of the apples and the acacia if I don't make my inventory. On most things, that's actually I can free up that spot by these. almost like a little path through here. But I think that's enough for now on the jungle sapling. What? Okay. What? I mean, I'm not going to turn down one that's already. I think we're at the point we don't really need to wait anymore. We now have 3 times what I said was the minimum for I'd go. So I say we go, because we do want to get those mangrove trees. And I'm willing to stay on just a little bit longer for that purpose. Could get that iron. Oh, I see bamboo over there too, so yeah, definitely worth getting some bamboo. And all you need is 1 piece, and you can turn that 1 piece into a full double chest. That's 64 times 54 bamboo in just really a matter of minutes. And I'm just going to chop it from there. That way it'll grow back. I always like to leave it behind. The environment looking nice. So the next thing we're after is mangrove. Got, I think every variant except that, if not counting the variants found in the Nether. So it's been a productive little trip. We've now hit the southeastern corner of the border and the southwestern corner of the border. So maybe by the time we get to the northwestern corner of the border, we'll have all the trees. Also, with the new update, I'd forgotten to mention this because I kind of forgot about it till now. Not only are we getting the cherry grove blossom biome, we're getting the wood variant for that, but we're also getting a new wood variant that you can make out of bamboo. So that will include all the things you can make with wood: doors, trapdoors, fences, boats. Though with bamboo, it's not going to be a boat; it's going to be more of a raft type thing. So that's kind of cool. Just one more variation type thing. I'm all for that. And I think there are a couple different blocks you'll be able to make out of bamboo as well. And I saw the original texture pattern for those, and I imagine they've probably at least tweaked it a little bit since I last saw it. But I thought it looked pretty good, and I'm looking forward to seeing that in the game and messing around with it. So here's the Badlands that I often call a mesa by accident, because that's what it used to be called. Badlands are a sparse biome without much in it in the way of life. You'll find dead branches. You'll find an occasional tree. The cool thing about them is it's where terracotta naturally spawns, and that's a useful block. Just for color variation, you can see that colors you're not going to find anywhere else in the game. And also abandoned mine shafts can spawn here, just like the one we found in the mushroom biome, except here they typically spawn closer to the surface, and you're also going to find way more gold in this biome than you will in any other biome. And I had mentioned the emerald ore that we saw before. You find that most often in mountains. So we may even see some surface. Oh, yep, here's a surface abandoned mine. It kind of generated a little wonky, but Ooh, we found an enchanted book. Fire aspect. Well, let's take that. I'm also going to take the torches. I'm going to leave the rest. Not that it's stuff we don't want or need. It's just we have limited space in our inventory, and our inventory space itself is more valuable than those are at the moment. We can always come back for it. The rails too if we need. Yeah, just as I was about to talk about how there can be surface abandoned mines, we've run into one. Which means there can also be surface spider spawners. And spiders will typically only spawn at night. But a spider spawner, they can spawn at any time. I think. I could be wrong on that. It might be that they'll... You know what? I think I am wrong on that. I think spider spawners actually only work at night or if they're blocked from the sun. Alright, we found a small desert. Not a big one, but this is useful. Sand is the other ingredient you need for concrete. We'd mentioned gravel being one of them. Both of them are being gravity blocked, but when you combine them and make concrete, it's not a gravity block. But before it turns into concrete, it's concrete powder, which itself is also a gravity block. You turn concrete powder, you turn sand and gravel combined with dye, whatever dye you want the concrete into concrete powder. You then apply water to the concrete powder, and you have concrete. So sand, gravel, concrete powder are gravity blocks. Concrete is not a gravity block. Concrete will stay in the air as you combine the block. So I'm gonna keep heading north because that world border is not gonna let. Or is this? Are we at the north? Okay, we're at the north world border. Yeah. My tongue is tripping over itself. I guess we're gonna have to start going east again. And I think what we'll say is we'll go until we find mangrove, or we'll go until we hit the northeast corner. And at that point we'll call it a night, whichever comes first. That's a decent sized mesa. It's not the biggest I've seen, but I've seen smaller. So I will say it will be hard pressed to top the uniqueness of any biome compared to that mushroom biome we found our very first night here. Keep an eye out for anything underwater worth looking at. So we'll just have to make a mental note of where it was, because we don't have much space for anything that isn't a mangrove tree. Mangrove sap. Technically, mangroves aren't grown by saplings. They're grown by a thing called propagule. And I actually can't really explain the mechanics of those. They look sort of just like long green rods. I think you just plant them and they'll grow. I don't know what the conditions are. If you could just plant them on dirt, or if you have to have like a special mud block, because I know you can find mud blocks in the mangrove forest. Or as Corrales says, the mangroovy. Or rather, the mangrove swamp is, I think, called for it. I was hoping that this up here was them, but no, it's jungle. So that's good to know we have another jungle. And we'll go back to both of these jungles because they might have jungle temples in them, so they're worth exploring. Typically, I don't really bother with jungle temples. The loot isn't worth the trouble. But I haven't done one in so long. It might be fun. Okay, I'm seeing what looks like might be mangrove again, but it could be jungle as well. Yeah, I think this is jungle. Both the jungle temples and the desert temples are trapped. There's some slight puzzle mechanics to getting the loot out of them, but they're very simple. And okay. Speaking of earlier of drowned with tridents, I just heard a trident thrown at me. But I don't see the drown, and I don't think I want to stick around to see him. But I think this might be mangrove over here. Unfortunately, I'm getting a little bit of lag. That does appear to me like it might be mangrove. So let's check it out. The lag would certainly indicate that it is, because you get a lot of lag in mangrove biomes, just like you do in jungle. For the same reason. All the binds, the game is constantly checking on to see if it's going to make them grow that particular moment or not. I might I might even need to lower my render distance. That might help with the lag. Here's a mud block that I was talking about. Those are useful for a number of reasons. Most specifically, at least to me, is they're about 1 pixel shorter than the normal block. You might even be able to see the difference here. Okay, visually I don't think we can tell right here. Let me... Okay. Here's what I'm doing. Now, I know some people are going to say 96 chunks. That's not my actual render distance. I have something called Bobby Mod. It's faking that I have 96 chunk render distance. That's 16 times 96 blocks or meters, depending on how you prefer to look at it. That would kill my computer and set it on fire. Bobby's Mod caches the chunks and renders them, renders the appearance of them without rendering, and allows you to see much further, and I rather like that. So let's put these side by side and see if we can see a height difference. Okay. It is not visually apparent, but I do know that when anything that's on a mud block is slightly lower than oh crap, the creeper. I didn't hear it blow up, but it felt like it did. I don't know what happened. You know what, let's get our boat, because I could easily get lost in the forest or swamp. Okay. Yeah, so here's a little propagules I was talking about. These are roots. Ah! That's so weird. Does mud absorb the explosion of a creeper? That, if so, is a mechanic I wasn't aware of. I'll have to look that up later. Anyway, you can see why I've never really tried farming mangroves before. It's difficult because they grow like that. But I am gonna take, or no, those have to be fully grown. None of these are. Let's see if we can find at least one that is. Oh, here's the podzol I was talking about earlier that grows when you plant that larger spruce. And now a skeleton is shooting at me. I think this might be a very small mangrove forest. Or, I keep saying forest. They also generate moss carpet here. Like this. I didn't know bamboo could grow in a... Oh, it's not growing. Another thing that can happen in the jungle is pandas can spawn. We didn't see any when we were over there, but we were right on the edge. So that's another thing we can keep an eye out for when we go back to the jungle. Alright, I got it. I have to know. Huh. Okay, I for sure saw that the creeper didn't blow up anything. And I've never seen that before except on, like, obsidian. I know something have more blast resistance than others, like if the creeper had been on stone, a lot less would have been destroyed than if the creeper were on, say, dirt or sand, but then I wonder if being just slightly lower than grass absorbs the shock of the creeper explosion. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look it up. That's interesting. And anyone who is familiar with creepers and wants to know why my creepers look different from what you're used to, it is because I have a texture pack called Creepers Plus, and it makes the creepers a little harder. Not because they have different mechanics. It doesn't change their mechanics at all. What it does is it changes their skin to make them more camouflaged by matching whatever biome they're in. So you saw that one had like kind of vine stuff on it. If you're underground, they'll be gray and blend in with the stone. If you're in the desert, they'll be more of a brownish color and blend in with the sand. I think they look cooler. They're just more varied, and like I've said several times tonight, I'm just all about variation. And again, it doesn't change the mechanics of them at all. It just makes them look different depending on where they spawn. And it actually makes the game harder by virtue of them being harder to see. That might be a full-grown propagule. What else can I get rid of? I guess I'm willing to part with the patient. I want to get at least 2 propagules before I get out of it. If I had the space, I'd get the mud and some of these fruits as well. You can always come back. I'd probably take the moss too. Cool. There we got 2 of those. That one looks fully grown. Was I mistaken? Nope. We got 3. Those don't look grown to me. That one. No, I don't think it. I was gonna see if I could see if that one was gonna knock it down myself. Oh yeah, just one. Don't think I'm quite there yet. Ooh, I can free up spot by doing that. Don't know how to. Well, I do know how I call that. I'm so used to them being in my hotbar. That one? No, I don't think it is. And if we don't find one that is, if we wait long enough, one of them will be. So we're almost there. Doesn't happen in the next couple of minutes, so I think I am gonna head on back to the island. Make do with 3. Let's see if I missed any wood. Yep, I sure did. Interesting, it let me sleep way earlier than it normally does. What's up with that? Okay, one of these has got to grow here in the next minute or two. Alright, I believe this has. Alright, we have our. So. I'm a little nervous to go through the area because things can spawn if it's dark enough and an densely shaded area like this. I'm also wondering why there's so many mobs right here. I'm wondering if there's a spawner like on the surface, or if it was just the only place that was dark. But you know what? That's something. That's a mystery we can solve. Because it is getting to be kind of late. I'd like to sign off and go to bed here pretty short. We've been streaming a little over 3 hours. Okay, for that I do not recognize. I do know that. But I can't place. I've heard it before. I just can't place it. Oh, it's when your boat goes over a magma block. Because those, if you put soul sand underwater, it pushes you up, and if you put magma cubes underwater, it cools down. That sound was a boat being caught. So we're just gonna head south over the land, sort of to just open up the map a little bit. Again, like I said, I try not to use the map except when necessary. I don't like becoming dependent on it. I like to be able to look around and see where I am. where that is relative to where I want to be. But part of learning that is taking a glance at the map every now and then. That, back to that. Looks like it's got a much bigger map here. I have to remember to raise the render distance if I get away from it. Also, you can have frogs spawning in swamps, but I can't remember if they'll spawn in mangroves or not. Apparently, tropical fish can too. I didn't think you get tropical fish outside of a biome. That's this biome was added in a fairly recent state. That's why I don't know much about it. I never really got around to doing much with it other than going to it, chopping down a bunch of the wood, and building stuff. And taking advantage of the mud blocks being slightly shorter than regular blocks. That means that if you put a hopper under it, the hopper can suck the item through the mud. So if you're killing a bunch of stuff and then you have a hopper underneath the block that stuff died on, the hopper won't pick it up, but the mud's lower than a regular block. So in that situation, the hopper will pick it up. So that's a great mechanic. I got a little turned around. I thought I was going south. The map thing, I'm a journey map. Got some cool features. Looked at a little bit. One of those being the mini map in the top right corner that tells me the coordinates I'm at, time, and the biome. And you see that it will tell me where I died and how to get back. Some people consider that a little cheaty, and I wouldn't argue with them that it isn't, but a lot of games do have maps, so adding it here doesn't really feel out of place. I'd say the divided probably 3 camps on that. Those who are very opposed to it, those in favor of it, those who don't care. I mostly also favor here, personality. Another feature of Journey Map is that map that I can hit the key and the whole screen turns into a map. That's part of it. That auto generates sort of as you traverse the map, and it makes one for every dimension. And you can also add waypoints that are these beams of light, and if you turn them on, you can see them from anywhere in the world as long as you're in the same dimension. You can also see them from other dimensions if you set it up that way. You can see that. So if I had a waypoint set like they were that way, I would be able to see the beam of light right there. Correct. Oh, there's a frog. Hi, frog. Yeah, you can see he's on the mud, so he's further down than he would be if he was up here. That's why you can't see him. They're kind of cool because if you take them to the Nether and get them to eat magma cubes, they will sort of poop out these things called frog light. And there's 3 frog variants. There's the frog that spawn in the warm areas, the cold areas, and then the temperate areas, and all three create a different color frog light. So there are ways to get magma to spawn in a certain spot, and if you take all three types of frogs to that spot, the magma will spawn, the frogs will eat them, and then you get frog light. There's a little more to it than that. It typically also involves iron golems and being bait for the magma, a couple other things. We will build ones that like frog light. It'll be a while before we get to where we do that, but it's on the list of things I intend to do, and I do like light, so it will be one of the earlier farms. But there's just so this would probably be a smart time for a quick map. Sure, I think, but either way, we're headed back this time, at which point we'll empty our inventory. We'll call it night. But it has been a fun evening. I think I will stream again probably about the same time, maybe a little earlier. Let's see. Tonight I've gone from roughly 7 to now 30. I'm late for bed and sleep. But I'm on a new world. I haven't been on a new world in years. Exciting. I'm not going to deprive myself. Going to bed. Hour. Hour. That's still don't have that. They've got all these horse variants too. We've seen these and some black ones and brown and tan and spotted. It's another reason I think dogs are overdue for a variant overhaul. So I mean, we're all used to horses, even if we live in urban environments. So we see them on TV. We're familiar with them. They're in movies, in stories you read growing up. Maybe if that's what you're into as you get older. So I've known people who own horses. But as much as we're familiar with horses in our day-to-day life, I would say most of us, a very, very large, don't interact with horses. We don't see them in person. And if we do, it's from a car as we're driving by something else. And for me, that's not even really something that happens. I just don't really see horses. But I see dogs. I had my few dogs. They're my some of my closest friends. Don't have a dog and probably will. Okay. But whatever the case, with that much thought put into horses, which again we're all familiar with, it's not an unusual. With dogs being all that much more common, I think that's that's a good case for us to say that they should have some variants like the horse, like like the cats, and even like they're not technically in the vanilla game, but like the creepers that and there are some things that do that to the dogs, but They require a thing called Optifine, and I run off of something called sodium and fabric. And there's all kinds of workarounds to get sodium and fabric to work with the Optifine requirements without Optifine. But for the dog texture pack, I've never been able to get those to work. Can't go that way. I think we're about 1,000 blocks roughly north of Mushroom Island. And I want to say we're probably about 1,000 blocks east of the island. So for the last about 10 or 15 seconds, I thought I was south, actually. I think I should probably do that. I'm at a point where it's late enough. I do say I am. You can. These are the waypoints I was adding. I didn't. I was talking about added. Yes, I am facing the wrong direction, but I was going generally the right direction. I think we were. Yeah, there's on the south and then east and then north. So I just need to turn around. Oh, this. You know what? I think that's the Stony Shore where we got that iron, and this is the shipwreck where we left the treasure map. Yeah, I know where we are now. Did I say Stony Shore where we got that island? Because if I did, what I meant was that iron. Yes, it's Mushroom Island. That's another reason I like that map. You see how easily one can get turned around. And I knew that the island was east, and in my head, I got it in there that it was west. There's one of those ocean monuments. I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure if we counted that one yet or not. There's so many, I'm gonna have to mark them. So, which I could do with waypoints, but I want to use those bearings. I think this is that Mushroom Island that was a little bit north of ours. That means we're headed in the right direction. South now. But it's been a productive night. We got some mining done and got some of the diamonds we needed. And we got our mine at least started, so we're down at the level we need to be. That part's done. That's the tedious part for me, is getting there. Even though being there takes longer, getting there isn't as fun as being there. Or maybe this is our island. I think actually this is our island. Let's just yeah, this is our island. Let's head on back to the land. Crap. I'm back, guys. Hi. Yeah, be you too. Where the lake is today. I'm pretty sure we're on the northern side of the lake, but no, we're on the southern side. That's right. Oh, Well, that was clumsy. I saw it and I thought, no, I'm going fast enough, or I'll make it. I'll make it. Nope. Maybe I'm more tired than I realized. Well, another access to the advanced mind were entirely different. So we'll have to figure that out, map it out, see if we have one big one or a couple small ones, several small mine shafts of unusual size, if you believe in that sort of thing. Some people I know don't think that those are real. Oh, no, we didn't. Now that we're away from jungle swamp, we can turn our fake render this back. Yeah, my actual render distance, I believe, is something like 12 chunks. Completely reasonable for most computers. Aren't basic model. I have a pretty decent computer, very generously helped wire. Great. I'm going to pick it up further into this. The assistant mod baked it up further. And I know some are not able to get that far, especially console players, Pocket Edition, phone, not able to handle that. But I've seen some of those phones are able to handle it better than some of the older consoles. Just how far we. But we've made it back home. Our glowberries are all the way to the ground now. It might be interesting to dig underneath them and have them actually come down into the cave. It's not something. If we remember it, we might try it out, see how it looks. Let's look at our fancy treasure. Okay. There. Go over. Pretty well. Maybe. You know, I think I originally made this chest for something else. I don't even know what now. It was one of the things I considered tossing when I was getting rid of stuff. So when you place a chest by another chest, it creates a double chest. But you crouch and have two side by side like that. I think we finally have enough this sort of thing, like wood chest. So do that. And then if what I typically do is I have a wooden chest and I have a wood chest. And then the wooden chest becomes even more specialized in various types of things. I get right now I just sort of have a random this is kind of valuable and I want it separate from other things type chest that will get more specialized as well. Yeah, both probably start. So yeah, good trip. Good trip. Productive night. So, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna wrap up. Tomorrow, I think I'll stream again. If not, it'll be Wednesday, the day after. We'll do some more mining. We'll plant the trees that we have newly acquired. Um, and maybe we'll go after the buried treasure we found. Maybe one. So until next time, uh, have a great night. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.